started. Good afternoon, everybody. Joseph Miranda. I'm the broker and owner of Miranda Executive Realty. We are here on May 27th for our latest installment of our Ask Broker Elite training. This is our deep dive training where we teach the high level skills, the high level techniques that, usually I think most places are charging a lot of money to teach you, but we believe in giving. So real quick before we get started, any agents that are here or any agents later on that are watching, if you're interested in learning more about Miranda Executive Realty, what we can do to help you take your business to the next level, you can scan this QR code for our shameless plug, and we will, we'll reach out to schedule an appointment. They'll also, once this gets posted, you can look into the comments and there'll be a link there as well. Questions and comments, you can type them into the chat if you have them. I'll probably, I'll finish my thought or, complete whatever I'm talking about, and then I'll be happy to address that. If you would prefer to speak the question, just raise your hand. Worst case, if you want to, you could also just write the question down, and then at the end, we will do a questions and answer portion of it. All right, and finally, a quick disclaimer. So I am not an accountant, I am not an attorney, I am not a medical doctor, I do not practice law or medicine. I am a licensed real estate broker for Miranda Executive Realty. I've been in the real estate industry since about 2003 as an investor, flipping and rentals. I've been licensed since 2007 as a sales agent. I got my broker's license in 2012, and Miranda Executive Realty was created in 2019. So been doing this for a while. The things that I teach, the things that I talk about, none of it is theory. It is all real world experience that I teach from. I don't go take a training course somewhere and try to teach something that I've never done. If I teach it, it means I've done it, or it's how we do it. The agents in the office, you know what I'm talking about. If you've been in Agent Resources, that is the culmination of my career and everything that I know. So let's go ahead and jump into it today. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about how to create funnels, right? So again, like the little quote there says, right? Buying leads gets you started. If you want to buy leads, you can buy leads, right? But generating leads is what will build your empire. Learning how to create marketing campaigns and putting those in different areas and learning how to turn those campaigns into currency, which what is the currency that we're talking about today? We're really talking about their contact information, right? When we're coming from, the real estate side of this, we're looking for leads. So we're not selling a product, we're giving a product in exchange for what? For their real estate contact information, right? So there's a lot of companies out there that sell leads, and most of them come through funnels, right? You just don't realize that these leads actually came from a funnel. But if you think about it, what is a funnel, right? A funnel in its purest sense is something you pour into the top. It kind of, collates everything up top and something comes out of the bottom. So the marketing is what comes into the top, the people with their information come into the top, and then your leads will come into the bottom. In our office, we do a lot of cash offer leads, right? We purchase leads from a company that is asking for an instant cash offer. Well, where did that lead come from? That lead came from an online ad that this company created saying, if you want to click here for an instant cash offer on your property. They clicked it, they went to a landing page. Landing page was set up nice enough that they were able to convert their information. So, like I said, the funnel, what is a funnel? It's not a website. A funnel does not take you to a website, right? It's really just to capture information. It's to drive you to a landing page that's going to, that is created for a very specific person or for a very specific goal, right? So that, we want a certain outcome when we're talking about funnels. Funnels, they take some time, but if you're doing them right, they will convert, right? And a correctly laid out setup funnel isn't necessarily the most beautiful website that you ever saw, right? Funnels aren't professionally designed websites, and you're not going to see when you take somebody to that landing page, you're not going to see a bunch of tabs at the top and they can jump around. It's one page, and it's set up for one specific goal, right? It's to get the person who's on that page. So you created your ad, they went to that page, and it's to elicit a certain response. You want this, right? You want this thing, click here, I'll give it to you. They click it, they go to a landing page. Here's how you get this thing. Are they going to pay for it? Are they going to give you, again, the currency that we're talking about here is contact information. If you create a product and you want to sell a product, that's different, right? It's still a funnel, but it's not the same thing. If you're doing business coaching and you want people to sign up for your business coaching, you're still going to create an ad, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, wherever you create your ad at, it doesn't matter, wherever it is most effective for you, but you're going to create the ad. You're going to have some certain elements to that ad, and we're going to get to that in a minute. They're going to click there. They're going to go to a landing page. That landing page has one purpose: to close that deal, right? So button placement, your header, all that stuff is going to be very important. So why do funnels work, right? Why do so many of these major corporations use funnels? You not only to generate leads, but also to create sales, to sell their product, to get people to sell their services, really anything, right? Because it's crystal clear. When we have a website, our websites can be very complicated. There can be so many different aspects to a website. If we create an ad and we drive them to the website, they might land on a certain page, contact us page, but there are so many other options on that page, they're going to get confused, or they're likely to get confused, right? So the funnel, they're gonna go in a certain flow, right? And as they go from one step to the next, you're building trust, right? And the ad that you create is going to be tailored to a very specific audience. You're not creating a funnel with a broad net type of intention. You're creating a funnel to talk to a very specific person. So let's break it down into 3 segments of the funnel. The first segment that we're going to talk about is going to be the foundation of the funnel, right? So this is where you're really building kind of your baseline of the funnel. You haven't marketed this funnel yet, right? So who is your ideal target market? And this is I can't tell you who that is. This is your ideal. If you're building a funnel, the first thing that you're going to look at is, what is your target market? And just a quick side note, even if you don't want to build a funnel, this marketing training right here can help you with so much of your other marketing. If you want to send out postcards, right? If you want to do cold calling, if you want to do a geo farm, right? A lot of these things will still apply, right? You can apply this in a lot of different areas in your marketing. So what are you looking at? Number one, who is the person? What demographic? What lifestyle? What career? Do you want to talk to doctors? Do you have some sort of value proposition that you can give to doctors that you would go after them, right? Then you're going to find their problem or their limitations, right? What's holding them back? What's something that, what's a problem that this person has that you can solve, right? And by solving it, that's going to help them achieve what? Their ambitions, right? So, who's the person? What's the problem that this person has that you can help them to achieve, right? So this is a very important part of the funnel, because you're talking to this person. If you create an ad, it's talking to this person. If it's a doctor that works so many hours and makes so much money and wants to invest in real estate but doesn't have the time or the means or the wherewithal, not the means, but the time or the wherewithal to do it, right? That's it, right? The doctor's the character. The limitation is, they have all this money, but they work too much to what? To invest in real estate, right? That is their ambition, is to invest in real estate, right? So what do they believe is true right now? Well, I'm too busy to invest in real estate because I'm a doctor. I have to continue to make this money. So what can you say to them to trigger an action from that person, right? What are the things that you say that inspires them to take an action? This is CLAIR, right? The CLAIR method: character, limitations, ambitions, reality, engagement, triggers. Who are they? What's the problem? Right? What's the solution? What do they want? Right? What's their limiting belief right now? And what are you offering that can get them to change the way that they think? Right? The CLAIR method. Then what you're going to do is you're going to build your $1 million message around that. Right? So you have the order, you know who they are, you know what the problem is, right? You have the solution to their problem, and now you have your tagline, right? So it's going to be something like this. So a week, $1 million message: I help people buy homes. Well, every real estate agent probably helps people buy homes, right? I help busy professionals who feel overwhelmed researching markets and lenders get cash flowing homes with $50,000 or less in under 90 days using my streamlined, done-for-you investing system. Right? So your product is your streamlined, done-for-you investing system. The thing with a funnel is you need a product. We are the product as the real estate agents. We have the knowledge. We know how to get them there, right? But you have to take your knowledge and put pen to paper and make sure. You can't tell them that I have a streamlined, done-for-you investing system if you don't have that, right? I help doctors who want to invest in real estate but work way too many hours to do it, get into the real estate market with my streamlined investing system, right? So this right here is your success formula, right? I help who, right? And what is their pain point, right? I got a lot of money, and I don't have time to invest it. And I got a lot of money. I really want to get in the real estate, I really want to get in the real estate industry because I see the appreciation. I understand the tax benefits, but I just don't have time to manage rental properties, right? So you help them get that result. In how much time? Using what, right? What is your unique method? Your unique method, right? So you're going to work this backwards when you build this out. You don't start necessarily, right? So you need to know your audience, right? And the pain and the result and the time frame, but your unique method, you can't do anything without having your unique method. So you need to have your unique method. So whatever it is, right? Your streamlined, done for you investing system. Okay. And maybe that can help, different, so you have one audience. Who's to say you can't create multiple audiences? So this is your foundation. You start by writing out, the who, the what, the when, and the how, right? So you're going to start by writing these out. Who is your avatar? Who is your person? Who is Claire, right? When we go back and we look at Claire, who's the character with their defining limitations? What do they want? Right? What do they currently believe? And what do you do to change their current belief system? That's your foundation. Next, we're going to talk about the framework. So now what we're looking at is this is the framework of your actual funnel. All right. I hope you guys are following along here. I know that this is a lot to kind of take in, and I'm really taking big concepts and compressing them down into really small. And again, this is why, this is going to be part one of probably a two-part series here, because it's, just learn the terminology, begin to think about this, funnels they're very simple, but they're not easy. It does take some time to figure out how to build these funnel systems, right? So what's the framework, right? So there's 5 steps in your framework, and some of these are, they may begin to sound a little bit familiar because some of them come from your foundation. So number one, what is the goal, right? Without a goal, you don't really have any direction on where you're going to go. So you always start with the goal, right? You need to know, what is the goal of this. Number 2, what's your audience? So we talked about that, right? So what's the goal that you want your audience to achieve? Now, this is where you need to create something. You need to give some value with your lead magnet. So for the agents in our office, Miranda Executive Realty, a little insider secret: when you see the home sellers guides and the home buyer guides, those actually started out as funnels. And if you look at them, they actually follow the same formula: the foundation, the framing, and the front door, right? So, and each one there's 3 segments inside there. The seller's guide and the buyer's guide were my lead magnets. It's what I would offer to a seller or to a buyer that would help, right? I could take a buyer, I help renters, buy their first home within 90 days, using my unique first-time home buyer platform, right? And then that is my lead magnet. It'd be an image of the roadmap of the lead magnet, right? So you need to give something of value. Okay, so what's your goal? Who's the audience? What's the lead magnet, and how do you capture them, right? So you have your ad with your lead magnet. They're going to click the ad because they want the lead magnet. Maybe it's a instant cash offer. Click, right? That's going to take them to your landing page to do what? To capture their information. You want this. You want this thing that I'm offering you. In exchange for this thing that I'm offering you, you're going to give me your contact information. Now, all of these people, like, A+ leads, just because somebody clicks for your free home buyer's guide, does that mean that they're buying a home? No. But chances are, if they did click your free home buyer's guide, they're starting to think about buying a home, right? Maybe they're not ready just yet. Maybe they downloaded your guide because they don't know where to start, or they've already started and they already know that their credit isn't what it needs to be. But Joe said that if I click this, he's going to take me from renter to owner in 120 days. I'm interested in this, right? So what do? You follow up. We talk about this all the time. Agents in this office are tired of hearing about following up. But this is just like any other lead that you have. Now, with the lead magnet that I gave, I would give it to them in sections. First thing we talk about is credit, income. Income, assets, and credit. Right? Get you qualified for a mortgage first. So what are the 3 things a lender looks at? Income, assets, and credit. I'm going to teach you income, right? How your income affects what you're going to get qualified for, right? I'm going to teach you your assets and how much money you're going to need in the bank. And I'm going to teach you credit, what your credit score needs to be in order to purchase a home, right? And we're going to figure out how can we get you to fit into that box, right? That's the first step of the home buying process, right? Next, know your audience. So again, talking about the lead magnet, we're talking about the audience. You can't build a lead magnet if you don't know who your audience is. And the more specific that you get, the better success you'll have, because you're not going to have people clicking your ad, right, and clicking through and leaving your landing page, or clicking your ad that thought it was something totally different. So you want to narrow your lead type down first, right? So what are you looking for? Buyers, sellers, right? What type of buyers? Investor buyers, first-time home buyers, right? What type of sellers? You want for sale by owner sellers? Maybe you want to work in a certain geographic area, right? Maybe you want buyers that are buying in a certain geographic area. if you know a lot about a specific area, a specific neighborhood, you could create a guide to that neighborhood, right? If you're thinking about buying in Palm Air, here's everything you need to know about Palm Air. Now, anybody that's thinking about buying in Palm Air, what are they going to do? They're going to click that link because they want to learn everything there is to know about it, right? Now you just positioned yourself as the expert, right? Do demographics matter? I don't know. Right now, demographics are difficult when you get into social media because of equal housing, and demographics used to be easy and amazing in social media. You used to be able to create a Facebook ad and you could say this income. I mean, fair housing meant nothing in Facebook when they first started doing Facebook ads. And then I don't know if they got sued or threatened to get sued. I don't know exactly what happened to them. But then all of a sudden, now the way that you find demographics is you have to interested in. So if you want to advertise for people that, I don't know, want to live near a place that's famous for fishing, so you would put like, okay, interested in outdoor fishing magazine, right? Interest, follows, Jim the Fisher on whatever. Right, like that's how you find the demographics now. Same thing for the psychographics, right? What are they into? Maybe you want to promote a golfing community, and you want to become, you want to position yourself as the expert of a golfing community. So it would be people that subscribe to Golf World magazine, people that follow, I don't know, whoever the big golfers in the world are now, right? So you have to find that. And then finally, again, you need their pain point. Somebody that loves to golf, wants to live in this specific golfing community, but for whatever reason you can't, I can help you get in, right? That's for you to figure out. That's for you to figure out. Now, the one rule that the gurus won't tell you, the one thing that these people that are, creating online trainings, that do coaching courses, that do whatever, you want to know what the number one rule for that is? You give away your best stuff for free. You don't hold back until they click to give them the high quality information. You give them all of the best stuff for free, right? So these are just some things that you need to consider when you're creating your lead magnet, right? What do you need to consider when doing your lead magnet, right? It better be innovative and unique. You have to solve a pain. Perceived value, a high level of perceived value. If somebody's going to give you their name, address, email, phone number, or any combination of that information, then you need to be delivering a high level of value, right? Clear call to action. Click here, sign up here, enroll here, right? You have to tell them what to do. If people don't know what to do, they're going to move on. They're not going to know, right? So what goes on your pages? So right here, we've got page 1 and page 2, right? So number 1, page 1 is your actual ad, right? Page 1 is the ad that you create and you put on Facebook. So your header, that's your hook. That's what draws them in, right? I help you get from here to here within this much time by doing this, right? So you would say, get from here to here by this much time, right? Now, the thing that people don't think about is the psychology of the background, the psychology of your font, the psychology of your color, right? How does this make this person feel? And always you need the call to action. Simple is better. I'm going to tell you that right now. When you're creating your page 1 ad, let's just use Facebook as the example because I think that's the big one. Facebook is where everybody has you run into a funnel on Facebook. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. If you're on Facebook, you've clicked the funnel, right? And they had just the right words with just the right colors and just the right design, right? What's it called? Copy. Just the right copy to make you feel a certain way to get you to click that button. They did it, right? Amazon and their orange, that orange that they have, that's a psychological color. The color that color has been found to build trust. So when you see that orange all over the place for Amazon, It's not random that Jeff Bezos just liked orange. It's because that color psychologically builds trust, right? Page 2, this is where you're gonna close them, right? This is where you close them, or after you close them, right? So they've clicked it, they've given you their information, right? They put all of their information, thank them, let them know, so this is a lot of times when you see it, hey, thanks for buying my product. I'm really excited. I'm glad you're here. Real quick, this is going to be in your inbox. Keep an eye out. It's going to be there in 5 minutes. You can delay it, right? Delay it so that they don't get it right away. Give them 5 minutes so they listen to you. Create a video, right? So it's going to be in your inbox in 5 minutes. But before we do, I want to tell you about this other opportunity that we have. Maybe you're going towards buyers. We're doing a first-time home buyer program, this Saturday on, whatever the date is at this location. It's virtual or in person. If you want to register, click below to sign up, right? Like, give them more, right? Of optional bonus call to action. So, they bought it. So your first ad should match the landing page, should match the thank you page, right? So they need to know when they're scrolling through Facebook and they see the ad, they say, oh, wow, I want to do that, and they click it. They need to know that next page that they go to needs to match the ad, because they need to know that they're in the same place. Okay, colors match, branding matches, the font matches, everything looks the same. I'm in the same place. This is what I want. Give them my information. Boom. Okay, here's what I want, information. Thank you message. Maybe it's a video, right? And give them the bonus material. Oh, by the way, if you want bonus material, or maybe, you can set it up if you use ClickFunnels, which we'll be talking about the tools on how to implement a funnel, things that will make a funnel easier on our next one. But if you use ClickFunnels, you can have upsell. Maybe they didn't want to give you the email address. Hey, I noticed you didn't give our email address, but we do offer this, and we need an email address for this. You got to figure it out, right? You got to figure it out. So, there's a lot of mapping that goes into this, right? There's a lot of mapping. So, and we do this constantly. When we create follow-up campaigns in Bold Trail in our office, we're mapping out, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, right? And this by this time, right? So number 1, it's going to start with your timeline. Nobody wants to be blown up, or maybe they do. I don't know. But how many emails do you receive a day, and how many times do you hit the unsubscribe button? If they unsubscribe, then you might have failed, right? So, maybe you hit them, okay, they downloaded the form, or they downloaded whatever you're giving them. Boom, okay, great. But when is the next message going to go out? And how is it going to go out? Right? What are you going to send? A text message, an email, right? You're going to call them. If you're a real estate agent, you should probably call, right? Calling is important. And then, what's your message? Hey, thanks for downloading. I actually created this new thing right here, right? Why? Because everybody listens to their favorite radio station, WIIFM. What is WIIFM? That's what's in it for me. They don't care about you. They don't care about paying you anything. They don't care about giving you anything. They don't care about you as an agent and listing it with you, right? They care about them and what they want, right? They care about how, what can you give me that's going to help me to sell my house for more money? What are you offering me, right? What's in it for me? Put yourself in the customer's shoes. Put yourself in the customer's situation. What's in it for me, right? Okay. And then don't give everything all at once. Don't give them everything all at once. If you want to use our home buyer's guide as a template for your first funnel, we can help you do that, but you're not going to give them the entire guide all at once, because you need to do what? You need to train them. You need to condition the consumer into opening your emails, to looking for your emails. Right. And again, you're not going to get 100%. You probably want to get 90 or 80%, but you only need one, right? You only need one person that sees the value in what you're offering. Because that one, when you get one, that you can get 2. That you can get 3, right? We haven't talked about split testing. My God. All right. So what do you do? So here's your form, the funnel itself, the actual funnel, right? Like what does it look like? And again, just like every other training, you'll have all of this, right? You're going to get all of this, right? But funnel number what? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, right? You need to know where you're at, because you're going to test the success of your funnel as you go on. A/B split testing. A/B split testing. You're going to start with one funnel. You're going to build one. Just do it, right? Look at your results. And then on your second one, you're going to change something subtle. Maybe you'll change the header. Maybe you'll change the image. Maybe you'll change the color. You could change the body of the email. You could change what the button says. And you're going to run those two funnels side by side. And you have to determine how long you're going to run those funnels side by side. But by the end of that cycle, you're going to figure out which one is operating better, funnel A or funnel B. You throw away the one that didn't do so well. You keep the one that did well, and then you change something else. If on this one you change the header, then the next one you're going to change the button. Which one does better, right? Throw away the one that doesn't do so well and do it again. Now you can change the photo. Run them side by side. Throw away the one that doesn't do so well. Maybe it's the new one that doesn't do well. You know, maybe the original photo that you had outperforms the new photo that you put in there. Doesn't matter. Throw away the new one. Keep the old one. And then do something else. And you're going to constantly be doing that. You're constantly going to be doing that, right? Over and over and over. So what's the lead type? Buyers, sellers, renters, investors. It doesn't matter. Figure it out, right? Who's the audience in that, right? Doctors, golf players, lawyers, people that want to live in a certain neighborhood, right? What's your $1 million message, right? So you know who they are. So you're going to tell them, you know, I help your type of person solve this problem by doing this within this much time by doing this, right? And what's the goal of this entire thing? How many leads do you want to get out of this? Or how many leads per dollar? For every $10 I spend, I want to get 2 leads, right? So it's $5 per lead. Cool. Work towards that goal, right? Then you create the ad, right? The ad is all of the same stuff that's up above there, right? And then after you create your ad, they're going to go to the landing page and then the thank you page. That's all you need to do. And Facebook is already set up for funnel ads, exactly the way Facebook is set up, right? The picture, the header, the message, the lead magnet. The picture might be your lead magnet, right? The lead form, they're going to click it and it's going to take them to a lead form on Facebook. And then what button are you going to use, right? Order now, you know, click here now, register now, like whatever it says, right? Like Facebook helps you choose, you know, what type of lead you're going for, right? And then the next page though, now Facebook doesn't do that. You might need additional software. Our Bold Trail does do that. You can put them in a link that takes them, that you can have them that will forward or click them through to a link that takes them to the next page, right? And then what next? Well, this is lead generation. What comes after lead generation? Lead follow-up. Again, this is a series of emails. They've closed them. Thank you. Appreciate you coming. You know, you ordered this product. I'm so happy. It's going to be in your inbox in 5 minutes, right? Keep an eye out there. But in the meantime, listen to me talk and hear what I have to say, and I'm going to do something else for you, right? Get them to stay. Offer them something else, right? Upsell them. Again, we're not really, I mean, look, if you want to create a funnel and you want to sell a product, coaching services, or I don't know, a widget, whatever it is, you can. It's the same formula, it's the same system, except the way that me as a real estate agent, I'm looking at a funnel, their currency is their information. And again, going back, right, how do I know that I'm getting a good lead? Because I'm targeting it towards somebody that fits into that first-time home buyer demographic, right? They're following Homes.com, they're following Zillow, they're following other real estate agents, the big real estate agents, right? You know, and they've clicked on my ad that says I can help you buy a home within 90 days by using my method. right? So they clicked it, they went through. Email 1 is what you told them you were going to send them. It's your lead magnet, right? So when I had my home buyer's guide, the first thing that I would send them was my roadmap. Here's the roadmap. In a few more minutes, you're going to receive another email with part 1 of the home buyer's guide, right? Talking about income, assets, or credit, right? Part 2 is the next thing. Then part 3 and part 4. And you could cluster it if you only want to send them 3 emails. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. And you can do any combination of these email follow-ups right here. It doesn't matter, you and add a value added info, right? If you want to do your market update first, again, these are just suggestions. You create your own funnel. Now, Bold Trail does have the ability to do all of this. You can build these follow-up emails in Bold Trail, or you could subscribe to another, a third-party outside company like ClickFunnels, and that is their specialty. They specialize in funnels, and they're built just for that, right? Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels, his goal really was to replace a website. That the new website was going to be funnels. I don't think he's succeeded in that, but he's made it very, very easy to create funnels, and at an additional cost, of course. So how do you apply this? This is what. So when you get that blank sheet, when you get the blank form that we're going to send you after this training, this might be what it looks like right here. This might be, funnel number 1, first-time home buyers. They need a mortgage, right? Here's your $1 million message. Here's your goal, right? Here's where you're going to put all of your ads, right? Or your ad post, right? And this is just an example. Again, this is not perfectly built out, but honestly, if you wanted to start with this, you could totally steal this, make an ad, and then do the A/B split testing. Change one thing, right? Change the $1 million message. Change, the goal behind it. Change the name. Change the verbiage. Change the photo. It doesn't matter. You change one thing at a time. Throw away the old one, right? So you can totally steal this if you want, right? So when I built my funnel, remember I said the first thing that I would send them would be the roadmap. This was it, right? Assets, credit, income. Okay, now you're approved. So some of the emails, based on however many days I was going to send these out, you would get my training on assets. Well, you need to know, what is an asset, right? Well, in this case, it's how much money do you have in the bank, right? And the different types of mortgages that require different amounts of money for a down payment. The difference between FHA, the difference between VA, the difference between conventional, right? They all have different down payment requirements, which means you need a different amount of money in the bank. If you've got, lower credit and your lower income and your ratios are not so great, then you're going to go FHA. You've been in the Marines, you probably want to talk about VA first. If you're buying an investment property, you're probably going to go conventional, right? Traditional financing, right? So you're pre-approved. Cool, right? That's my first step to making a first-time home buyer, or taking you from renter and turning you into a buyer, right? Well, what's next? Well, we're going to look at houses now that you're approved, right? So what's your criteria? I have a criteria list, right? What locations are you going to be in and what price point, right? Okay, cool. You got the house. What's your next steps in the home buying purchase process once you found the house? Inspection, appraisal, title. They teach you about that, right? So that's how this is the process to take somebody from first-time home buyer, from renter to first-time home buyer in 120 days or less. Most of this time is spent on getting their mortgage, as you know, right? So again, these guides, checklists, the things that you see in Agent Resources, these are exactly why these were built in the first place. And you, as agents in the office, you have access to these. You can put your own branding on there. You can put your face on it. You can put your phone number. You can create your own email sequences. We can show you how to create those in Bold Trail, right? But the home buyer, right? Home sellers, inspection checklist, they're all there, right? The inspection checklist was just, this is really here, right? And the inspection checklist was kind of a bonus that I would offer people. Hey, I just created this this home property inspection checklist. I thought you might like it. Take a look at it here, and then see if they download it. The nice thing is that they download and they're printing these things out. If you look at them, these have our branding all over them. So they're looking at our branding. They're opening the emails from our email address, right? They're receiving text messages with our name in it. So we're conditioning people to open our emails. Now, will you get what's that called? Stopped, or they tell you unsubscribe? Yes. People will definitely text you stop. People will text you all kinds of things. Like your first follow up to them, they're going to say all kinds of mean things to you, and you'll be like, dude, you asked me to send you this product, but they forgot, I guess. I don't know. Here's an example of an email or a follow-up sequence that maybe you want to use, maybe you don't, right? And that's kind of what the next few are going to be here, just to give you an idea of what you can put, what you can do, right? Mortgage calculator funnel, questions. Did you find a house yet? An appointment link, right? But each thing, home buyers wish list, right? Along with the mortgage calculator funnel, right? Whatever you want to say, just give them a personalized message, right? Give them the market report for the buyer's market, right? Let them know what the market is currently like. And then, do you want to learn more? Schedule an appointment. You have to be creative with what you're offering people, right? You have to be creative. What about our CRM offers property search, right? So maybe you want to send them that and get them looking for properties on your website, right? Where are they at in their process? Some of these you'll probably have to do on your own. You'll have to look and you'll have to say, okay, this type of buyer is buying this type of home. Let me set up their search alert, right? The next thing, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Been sending you stuff. You want to look at anything? How's things going, right? Don't be too aggressive. Again, this isn't day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. This is spread out over days, weeks, or even months, right? You do not overwhelm people with this. This is where I went back and I said, you have to lay out your roadmap for what this is going to be. Again, inspection checklist. You see the inspection checklist. What about sellers? So, do you want buyers or do you want sellers? Right? So sellers are a different animal, right? What type of seller are you looking for? A for sale by owner seller is different than an expired seller. It's different than a geographic seller. It's different than, a probate seller. Maybe you want to advertise to probate attorneys, right? Be creative. Think about it, right? Well, what's your $1 million message? I help property homeowners who want a fast, stress-free sale, put more money in their pocket in the shortest time possible using my step-by-step seller's guide. And that's true, right? And that's showing them, hey, I have a plan, right? Do you want it, right? So all of that is going to come down here, right? That comes down to the post below. And then there's your roadmap, right? Foundation, framing, front door. If you've ever looked at our seller's guide, this is exactly it, right? The P's, the M's, and the C's, right? Your foundation is price, preparation, and professionals, right? Your framing is marketing, meeting, and mediation. And your front door is chronology, contingencies, and closings. We're going to make you a professional home seller. Again, and you're going to say, but, if we're talking to for sale by owners, maybe they don't end up needing us. But that's okay because you only need one. Who cares? This for sale by owner may or may not have ended up listing with you anyway. Who cares? Most of this should be on autopilot, right? But the one that says, wow, you know what? Joe has been, I can't sell my house. I'm stressed out with it. I'm overwhelmed. A lot of people are wasting my time, but this agent Joe has been sending me so much information and so much helpful stuff. I'm going to call him. Maybe you're the only agent that had any impact on him, right? Because you're sending this information. You're giving information for what? For their contact. That's their currency. right? So you need to give them value. You need to give them your best stuff. If people suspect that you're holding back on them, then they're going to hold back on you, right? Again, you've seen them in our agent resources. We can put your own branding on them. We can, we can help you make these yours. You have to create your funnel. We can't create your funnels for you, but it's exactly these: home seller's guide, checklist. We have calculators in there. You can send them, the rental investment calculator. Same thing. What is the follow-up sequence look like? Number one, send them the roadmap, right? That lays out, okay, here's what I'm going to take you through. In the next 90 days, you're going to receive emails, and by the end of it, you're going to be here, right? And after that, you're going to this, right? So take them through, and each one is just an excuse to send them an email. It's an excuse to send them an email. It's saying, hey, look, I've got some value. Do you want this value? Good. Open this email. Here's the next piece of value, right? Open this email, right? So funnels, they can be complicated. They're simple, but they're not easy because it does require some work after the fact, right? So what are some other types of funnels that you can create? Let's say you want to target for sale by owners. You can create a funnel teaching how to hold an open house, right? Let's say you want investors, right? Figure out the things that you can give an investor that will attract them. Again, the calculator, different landing pages that are going to say different things, right? Whatever it is. So, again, as I had said, over time, you're going to sharpen your saw. You're going to improve this. It starts with building your first funnel. It starts by doing it one time, right? And the first and through time or through the weeks, you're going to be doing the A/B split testing, right? And you're gonna start reviewing what are your results, right? Headline design. What's the click-through rate, right? You're going to start everything here, right? First one, you changed your header, right? A got a 75% response rate. B got a 50% response rate, right? Change or continue or change, right? So you keep A and you throw away B, you forget about it, right? The next one, you're going to change your message. A/B. A got 90%, B got 25%. This doesn't mean you perfected it, right? Like, you throw away B and you do the next one. You change the lead form. The form, right? Like how it's laid out, the wording, the colors. Maybe you say, let me not ask for a phone number right away. Let me, later on, maybe I have another technique that I can ask for the phone number, right? As you can see, all the way down until you get to the text message, right? But the text message, B did better, so you throw away A. But A, you started out actually pretty good. But just because it's A, you're constantly iterating. It's constant iteration, no matter what, right? No matter what, right? And we do have a squeeze page, so you've got landing pages or squeeze pages, right? A landing page is where you want them to give you information to receive a certain thing. The squeeze page is if they have a search set up, right? You can say, hey, click here to see properties that are for sale in Palmer. Okay, they're going to click it, and then they're going to go there. They're going to get to see so many properties, and then they're going to have to register their information to continue. Right? But the nice thing about these are really super simple. Not even really a funnel. It's really, you just create the ad, you pay for the ad, you drive them to your squeeze page. They're going to enter, when they're going to look at properties, and pretty soon they're going to be forced to do it. Right? So what do you do? Right? What are the actionable items from this? Well, number one, get the forms. We have the forms. They'll be in agent resources. If you can't find them, let us know. We'll show you where they are. Get the forms and start filling them out. Number two, build one really simple funnel, right? In the forms. Don't go and create it yet, but build out your funnel in the forms. Number three, create your lead magnet. If you want to use ours, you can use ours, right? create your sequence and then post it on social media. Everybody can come back to your website. They can come back to your landing page. And if you say, okay, I'm only going to spend, on my first funnel, I'm going to spend $15 a week. On my second funnel, I'm going to spend another $15 a week. Most you're spending is $30 a week, right? Funnel A, funnel B. And I'm going to test these each for 1 week. Whichever one does, while I'm testing these for the week, I'm going to start building out my next funnel. So that depending on here, which one works out, I'm going to throw away that one and I'm going to put the new one in its place. Run them for another week. Right? Now I'm going to make this next change. That's the important thing with funnels. It's the important thing with funnels is that you have to constantly iterate. You're constantly trying to improve. You're always running at least 2 funnels for the same lead source. Right? And until you have an effective funnel, don't go after another lead source. You want to go after all the for sale by owners? Then focus on for sale by owners. Don't build one for sale by owners. Don't build one for expireds, first time home buyers and investors. Because you're going to have 2 funnels running at all times because you're A/B split testing. By the way, you can do this with pretty much A/B split testing is effective all the time. If you build out an email sequence, you can A/B split test your email sequence, right? You can say, okay, we're going to send this email to so many of these leads and this email to so many of these leads. And you can run them side by side and Bold Trail will tell you what the open rate is. A/B split testing is super. A/B split testing if you cold call, right? Okay, today I'm going to do this script. I'm going to say this. And tomorrow I'm going to change my script just a little bit to say this. And I'm going to see which one works better. Or today I'm going to use this close on everybody. And tomorrow I'll use this close on everybody. Right? Now you have to track your numbers. Okay, I made how many dials, right? I got so many answers, how many contacts, right? What's your conversions? But you can use A/B split testing. If you take nothing else out of this training, A/B split testing will change everything for you. It will change everything for you. Just making small iterations, right? Because we get comfortable. We get comfortable in what we do. We get comfortable with the way that we do things, and we don't change. We don't adjust. We don't evolve how we do things. But we should constantly be looking for a better way to say something, a better way to do something, a better way to compel somebody, a better way to convey a message. There's always a better way to do it, right? The pro tips, number 1, don't overthink and overcomplicate it. It can feel overwhelming at first. Just do one. We're in the lobby room. Pop in with us. That's what we're here for, right? Build 1 funnel at a time. Just one, right? And then just maintain. Keep doing what you're doing. So that's all I got here, everybody. But that's your action plan right here. Keep this. Keep this. If we'd really love to see people start building out funnels. If you can build an effective funnel, you can generate a lot of leads, and you can have a higher conversion rate. And then you don't have to worry about buying leads from the big, the big companies. You can write your own. You can write your own check. You write your own check with funnels. They are effective, but they are also a lot of work. So let me not fool you there. Stick around, don't stick around, but come back in a couple of weeks and we'll talk about the tools that you can use to build funnels. Before we end here, does anybody have any questions? Any thoughts? All right. No questions, no thoughts. All right. Well, join us next week for our roundtable mastermind. This is going to be an open format where it's going to be more than just me talking the entire time. This is going to be, bring your questions, bring your victories, anything market related, whatever you want to talk about. It's an open format. It's roundtable. Anybody can talk anytime about whatever they want. One final shameless plug for those who are not agents in the office. You can scan the QR code and learn more about us. If nobody has anything, that's it, everybody. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate it. It's great seeing everybody. And remember, don't stay stuck. If you need anything, we are in the lobby room, waiting to help. So take care.